Good morning and welcome to the Shielded Prepper. Today, another great day and one article that's going to open your eyes as to why these items are necessary for us to own for our families. It'll bless you. Let's get into this. Good morning, everybody. Today was a special morning. I've been receiving comments from many of you subscribers, so thank you very much for your input. I've really enjoyed reading the comments. Please subscribe to the channel and be blessed to send this to those that require a little encouragement in the prepping category, yet that also require their mind to change and their eyes to open. So be sending this to our friends, family, those that we know, love, and trust. And let's spread the word. We don't know. We're called to cast a seed. Let the Lord water it, right? Here we go. This is out of the Wall Street Journal, and we're going to be covering some of these things. Yet it breaks down simply like this with an article title that starts a little confusing, yet you're going to understand. If I betray these words, it says, review first, do no harm. Our doctors and physicians and physicians' assistants and those in the medical industry understand the importance of do no harm. And their hands are being tied right now, and we're seeing an epidemic of fatigue across our medical sector. Caught between the oaths they took as medical students and the demand of corporate healthcare today, today's doctors suffer a massive moral injury. I'm adding a little color there. It just says suffers moral injury. Yet this is sweeping through our healthcare industries. As the chaos of the hospital reigns, the physician tunes it out and focuses on helping the patient. And we're seeing now burnout now consumes American physicians who are overworked, non-autonomous, and adrift without help. We're only going to hit some of the highlights on this. This one might be a good one for you to look up if you desire to. It's this morning out of the Wall Street Journal. It was yesterday out of the Wall Street Journal. Such is the crisis facing our physicians. They are adrift without health. The technology of our medical industry is outpacing the capacity of our doctors that were trained one way 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and they've been implementing all these technological advances, and it's leaving the doctors spiraling, and it's affecting our ability to receive proper care and their ability to give it. So this is a two-way street. The state of today's physicians are seeing more patients, they have less time, fewer support staff, and are required to use technology that interferes with rather than facilitates care. As a result, our healers feel exhausted. They're senile in some respects because they don't even understand what's going on anymore because it changes and the systems change so much. They're alienated and ineffective in many respects, not because they're not capable, rather because the implementation of the newest and latest and greatest in the medical industry is about money. It's about money. However, burnout is a misnomer. It suggests that physicians lack resiliency. That's not saying they lack resiliency. They're human just like us. They claim physicians suffer from moral injury instead. This places the blame on the system and not the physicians because there's a moral injury that's happened inside of our healthcare systems and it's affecting us. And if it's affecting them, we're down the hill. Dr. Dean and Dr. Talbot appropriately fret after the scope of moral injury. 10% of doctors have thought about attempted suicide. 1 in 5 healthcare workers have left the profession since 2020, and close to half of the healthcare workers plan to leave their current jobs by 2025. This is a massive broken system that it will affect us. And if we don't take responsibility for it, we're screwed. So what I mean by that is, I don't mean we're screwed. We're screwed if we've got to depend on each other and we aren't ready. Just saying. This morning, some of you may have seen this book. I purchased 2 of these. You can see this is substantial. The Survival Medicine Handbook. This handbook single-handedly will take a complete rookie, novice, somebody who's queasy with smells and blood and guts, and it will allow you to focus on what things have to happen in an emergency. And it goes through everything from simple scrapes and sunburns to sprained ankles, maybe to a broken finger, how to set legs, dental, how to cycle antibiotics, how to do minor surgeries, other and alternative ways to treat things like burns and such. This is a wealth of resource. It's a wealth of resource. Yet there's one that if you give yourself permission to think about is really going to bless you, and it's this one. Let's see if you can read it. Let's see if I can get it to focus here. Do you see this one? All on, oh, gall. Well, I'll tell you this. I tried to be fancy, yet this is what I'm looking to point at. Anyone know what this is? Many of you probably do. This here are full cycles of antibiotics. I didn't receive a prescription from a local doctor for these. I actually had to put in a request through the site, and it's jacemedical.com. I'm going to put it in the description. This comes with a fantastic array of antibiotics. It'll treat a fantastic array of infections and things that'll have to be treated. And our antibiotic supply primarily does not get manufactured here domestically. It's manufactured internationally, and most from China. This book here gives you a step-by-step instruction on how to use these. This is something that I would really encourage you to own. And the reason why I bring up simply antibiotics, one, they're an investment. They have an awesome shelf life, potentially up to 10 years, kept in a cool, dark, dry place. These are important for us to have that we can handle our own common colds and sicknesses and potential small infections. And all of these back here are just what we require for a common cold or a simple flu. For one person, I mean, you think about how much is on here. This can be consumed rather quickly with just a couple of illnesses a year. Now, if you have more than one person in your family, we have to be thinking about how many of the nighttime packs and the different medications that we use, or the inflammation or ibuprofen for children in treating fevers. This is really important. So if you have children and you know that you're practicing husbandry and how to care for the things that you own proper, this is a time to stock up while it's there. So if you don't have all of these things topped off, and I know most of you are going to have these simple items inside of your medicine cabinet, yet top grade these. A couple sicknesses, and they've already talked about other bugs potentially in the future, and we know their plan is not to help us. The plan potentially is to squish us, yet I'm not saying that it's coming. What I am saying is, why not be prepared? Why not choose this? Why not? What's wrong? What's wrong with having a book that you can turn to in a moment of need that's not on your cell phone or on the computer or on YouTube, that you can open up and go step by step? The reason why I have 2 is that someone in your circle may require one too. Remember that. And there's a difference between seed time and harvest. This is putting seed in the ground. We don't know when we're going to require it. Knowledge is seed. Someday we're going to harvest that seed, and it's going to be important. Isaiah, this is a great scripture. Be encouraged by this. Isaiah 28, 24 through 26. Does a farmer always plow and never sow? Is he forever cultivating the soil and never planting? Does he not finally plant his seeds? Black cumin, wheat, barley, emmer wheat, each in its proper way. They all take different ways of growing, and each in its proper place. They all require different places to be seeded. The farmer knows just what to do, for God has given him understanding. As we train in life, we find out what items to plant in the geographic area that we live. Like this is obviously probably in the Middle East somewhere, when he was speaking about these items, these particular strains of wheat that grow there, cumin. Yet here in Washington State, we have things that grow really well here. We start to think, this is seeding we know where to put medication so that when the time is needed, we know how to harvest these and be able to use these, because we're not going to be growing all the ingredients that are going to help our body. So Isaiah 28, 24 through 26, I'd say read it for yourself today. It'll bless you. Last thing, the scarce items list. In the last section of this, there's 4 sections: real power, real food, real money, and real needs. And the needs section cover all the medical supplies and things that you should have. Put that up, read through the last section, and just look at the portion on medicine and medical supplies and first aid supplies. We're going to get into the deeper thralls of what this category looks like. Yet just as important as having a lot of food, if you are sick and you are not able to medicate it because the system, our medical system, is slow or broken or out or something doesn't work, these things are going to protect and provide. They're going to allow your shield to be increased so you could stand behind it and not have to stampede to get food or stampede to go get medical supplies, that you have it now and you can remove yourself from potential danger. Remember, Proverbs 22 verse 3 says that a prudent man, a prepared, a purposeful, a disciplined person, a prudent man foreseeth danger and hideth himself behind his shield. Yeah, it says hideth himself. And the simple pass on and are punished. So we know these people in our world that will not wake up. And it's not that they don't desire to, that there's a level of fear and apprehension about where to spend their money because it's so important right now. Think about where you're spending your money and how to improve the size of your shield. This will bless you. And for those that provide and protect for their family, it's necessary to start right now. So I bless you today as you start to think about these things and remind yourself that preparedness is not just about stuff. It's also about what things can I get done at home right now that I have access to now. I have the supplies to finish them, whether it's painting or wood projects or roofing projects or fixing old door latches or improving security. These are things that are free. So if you don't have much money right now and this category is fulfilled, start doing the things that cost nothing except energy and time. This is going to be our future. So get ready. Be excited, recruit somebody, send this to somebody, teach them about the shield. It's invisible, a both spiritual shield and a physical shield, and why this metaphor impacts those of us that are awake. Hello, Ninja Nation. Wake up, be encouraged. These things are coming. We're watching the decline of our country, and the dollar is eroding so quickly. We don't have much time left. Start today. It'll bless you. See you tomorrow.